I'm off the couch and my eyes are wide open and I see butterflies and unicorns flying all around me. And I am such a place of delight and wonder. I think I'll go home in a moment. I wonder how many of you who are Reiki practitioners may have met people like that after a session who the recipient, bless them, they are on another planet. They have literally wandered off into the stratosphere, into a whole new horizon, which is wonderful. It's like proved that the Reiki's word, it's lightened their load. However, just imagine that that person's driven up to wherever you are, your center or your home or your clinic or whatever you want to call it. Do you really want them to go home after that in that state? Which is why we come into what today's all about, which is about grounding our clients or your friends, family, whoever you've been working with, and sometimes even ourselves, because these energies can get quite, they're quite high frequency energies and you get almost in a different state of reality. I'll be honest, I haven't quite got to the moonbeam butterflies just yet, but I have come out there with everything's like almost like Technicolor, really wide, and everything's like, whoa. So there are times when we ought to just bring things down, back down to planet Earth, back down from the stratosphere, which is beautiful, and back down to terra firma, which is also beautiful, might I add you add. So let me go through. I have my trusty little bit of paper here. Some people have nice big boards. I have my little post-it. Well, it's not even a post-it note, it's just a note. And here are my 5 little tips. And I've also got, stick with it, stick to the end. I've got a couple of little bonus ones that I'm going to throw in there. And so we're going to start with the first one. So imagine the person's finished their treatment, and what I would say is, say to them, eat something nice and nourishing. Now, remember, guys, this is open to interpretation. It's just my ideas. And you might want to say, well, actually, no, you can have a great big bag of greasy chips, actually. That's fine. I mean, but, we're on that holistic vibe, so we'll try and keep it a little bit healthy. But I totally get it if you want to do your own thing, like say, actually eat chips, eat like, copious amounts of milk, chocolate, or whatever. That's fine. But these are really the ones I would recommend. So the first up is to eat something nourishing, something good, something like, some maybe a handful of nuts or something like that. Again, try not to go for the salty stuff. Tempted. I mean, I love my roasted cashews and stuff like that, salted cashews and stuff like that, which are lovely. But maybe just go for the unsalted ones. Good wholesome food, and just don't go mad. Because it's like they can have it for you, can't they? You could eat them like crisps. That's what I was ended up for. I'd end up stopping crisps, so I'll eat these instead and doing just as much damage. So I eat too many damn nuts. So have a couple of handful of nuts is one way of doing it. Fruit always an obvious choice. Fruit is always good for you. And now I will say though, just remember if you're suffering from diabetes or something like that, just careful what fruit you put in. But a handful of berries or something like that. I'm going to say apple. Some people might disagree. So well, actually, no, you can't use apple. So again, use your discernment. Banana as well. If you're not diabetic, banana's a great one. Full of potassium, full of all that goodness, but it is full of carbs. So we do have to bear that in mind. Or, just something that, you look forward to eating, and an orange or whatever. But again, watch your sugar levels if you are diabetic. And dark chocolate. You know, dark chocolate apparently is supposed to be quite good for you. And it's normally the one that's a really dark stuff, and that's like, whoa, it takes your head off. Me personally, if I'm going to eat chocolate, I'm going to eat, I'll be honest, I'll cheat. I'll eat the white chocolate. But apparently the dark chocolate is the really good stuff that is actually quite good for you, but it can be really bitter. But it will certainly ground you. It will get you back because you'll be thinking, oh, wow, that's got me back in exactly what we want. We want you back down on this planet. So there's some food ideas for you to consider. Um, the second one is always good. Just connect with nature. Connect with nature. Go outside for a while. If you got a lawn or something, kick your shoes off, walk around barefooted on the lawn. Just make sure that you're connecting with that old Mother Earth. Just be wary of like little bugs and stuff wandering about, or sharp objects for that matter. So if you've got stones or got, you wouldn't have glass, but just in case, just make sure there's nothing that's going to cut your feet open or anything silly like that. And but just ground, get yourself on the ground, feel the connection with the earth. It just feels good, doesn't it? Just walk around there. Go for a walk in nature. Go for a nice wander through the woods or whatever, down the coast if you're near to water or something, depending obviously on your location. Or even if you're in a city, just walk around a block or something. The main thing is it's just literally connecting your legs, getting the legs pumping, getting the body moving, and just reminding I'm a citizen of the earth. Get that good air in you, nice deep lungfuls. Really kind of like take some deep lungfuls of the good stuff. Get it in there, get your lungs working, get the blood pumping, get the heart working, and again, it's just gradually bringing you down, 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 down. And with a bit of luck, it will get you back in the zone, back in the space where you're meant to be. That's the second one I would recommend. The next one is mindfully drink some nice water or something, a drink, a drink that's not too sugary or something like that. And be mindful of doing it. So if you're going to pour the cup yourself or to pour the glass, imagine you've got your glass, you've got your jug or the tap or whatever. Just visualize or see the water just forming in the glass, rising gently up. And when you've got that, just look at what's there. I know it sounds a bit OTT, but trust me, it's engaging your senses. It's engaging your senses, looking and bringing you back into the room. Get the cup and just gently sip. Sip, feel that liquid going down your throat, your esophagus, into your stomach, right into your body, and just becoming one with your energy. See it becoming part of you and purify. It's like clear. It's like completing the process, isn't it? This is very curative water that's going through your system and just generally bringing you back. Or, it's whatever your drink is. I would say, for obvious reasons, after a healing session, don't have a glass of wine or beer. I've done it. It's not great. It's going to make you feel because basically you've had a nice big purge, and when you suddenly put something that's really not too clever for the old sort of like a energetic system, it's going to rebel. And it's going to make you feel queasy, probably, or a little bit like that. I'll tell you that I'm such a lightweight when it comes to alcohol now. I used to enjoy a good pint or two. These days, it just don't happen. I feel no compunction to drink it at all, and I don't need to. This is how Reiki's changed me in some ways, and maybe yourself. And drop a few stories of what Reiki's done to you in that regard, health-wise. Did you suddenly stop drinking? Maybe it was so dramatic you just increased your drinking. You never know. Hope not. But I'd love to hear your stories about how certain things have changed. But going back to that mindful, taking your time, really seeing almost every drop of that glass and taking time. Now, take your time. Now, it's ironic because I can tell you now when I drink, I will literally I'll nick it in one. Comes from my younger days. Um, but if you can, just sip, and just feel the water in your mouth. Maybe just hold it there for a second and just feel it gently going down into your body, cooling everything down, cooling you down. And more importantly, it's another earth element that's going to ground you. So grounding is what we're after. So that's another thing to consider. The fourth one's probably an old one that you've probably heard of before. I'm sure anyone that does meditation will know this one, but you can do that with your client. Once you finish the thing, just get them to sit down and just tell them to sort of like take a few deep breaths and just visualize roots coming out from the soles of their feet, gently winding down into the earth, into the core of our planet, and just tell them this is to make sure that you're grounded. You're back in the room, you're back in the space where you need to be, and you're present. You're not out halfway out to Alpha Centauri or onto the Boots Void or whatever. No, you're here. You're in your room. You're out in for me, it's in a room in Kent. That's where I am. Maybe you're in London, maybe you're in a sort of like out in the countryside somewhere, whatever. It was just bringing that person back into the room, back into that state of being. And they're just being here. They're present. You just think like, ah, yeah, okay, I'm here now. I'm feeling good. That's nice. I am present. And it is that visualization of the roots going into the earth. It's an old favorite. It's been used many, many times, but it works. It does work. And again, it's just a simple way. And it could, obviously, I mean, you could be in a place where it's really awkward to sort of like go out in a garden or something. It might be in a high-rise flat, for example, for all I know. Why not? And so it's quite difficult to actually go down and wander, or you could just there might be quite unpleasant outside, something going on, there's a lot of noise. And so this is another way that you can kind of like get round that, get into that kind of element of sending roots down into the earth, anchoring you to a beautiful planet, and saying, right, I'm grounded. That's another one. Okay, the fifth one. Now I love this. And I do Qigong online. It's a lovely man called Chris Holden. And I'm sure you often see his thing comes up Holden Qigong. Do check it out because this works. I'm going to demonstrate you now a few little things that you can do. It's called tapping. We're going to tap, and the whole point of this, it's opening up the pressure points. So you could just go up and down a bit like Tarzan, up and down here a few times. Feel free to follow to try it yourself. But the whole point of this is literally you're grounding your client, and you can slap down the arm and back up the arm, also here and the other side. An arm. He does it so much better than me, but I'm just giving you a quick demo of a way of grounding. And also, guys, anyone that does do Reiki, try this before your treatment. This will really fire up your energy system. Again, just beat up and down here. And you can go right down the legs as well. So I'm not doing that because I'm sitting down, but you can go right down the outside the legs, like the inside the legs, and tap around your waist. There are so many different pressure points that you can use. You can also do this just at the end. Just rub your fingernails together. I'm sure you've seen that on these videos, but it works. This works. This really does. Just feel your hands for a moment, and they should, with a bit of luck, you have some nice tingling energy right there. And that's all done from just activating those pressure points, but it's also very good for grounding you, bringing you back in a present moment because it's telling you. So each time you do that, hey, I've got a body. I'm connected with my body once more. I'm back here on planet Earth. Perfect. So that is the fifth one. So now we're going to come to the bonus ones. So these are my extra ideas that you may wish to consider. The first one now, obviously, this is difficult because this is more when they get home. So I would recommend that maybe this person does one of those five ones that we've just recommended. This one, I would say, if they really are still a bit spacey, and you've done what you can, just tell them to go home, have a bath, and put some of that beautiful Epsom salts or something in there. Sort of like a nice bath with sort of like salt water that they're just going to immerse themselves in. Salt will purify the skin, but it'll also bring them back. It's another earth element at the end of the day. Encasing them with that beautiful liquid, bringing them back down to earth. Um, this one you might be able to get away with in a little sort of like studio or something, but you would have to have room or provision for that person to go off to one side. And it's just maybe just a little foot soak. So a little foot spa kind of thing. Just put your feet in water. Again, put some sort of like make it salt water that they're just grounding themselves that way as well. And that would actually really nice connecting with the feet, with that earth energy and just purifying. That is a nice way of kind of like sort of like just bringing themselves into a state of equilibrium. And the final tip, the real bonus tip that I was thinking of, I was coming up here, so what other ones can I mention after? Get your, if you've got a drum or a kind of like something like that, or even a tambourine or something, just not the drum. The drum is very primal. It kind of echoes with our heartbeat, doesn't it? And like I say, don't go too crazy. Don't go bang, bang, bang. Just like a boom, 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 boom. Try and synchronize with your own heartbeat. Just drum, and it's the sound is very kind of like sort of like soothing. It brings you back. It brings you back in the room. And that is quite important, I feel, to have us in that element of grounding. And it's also going to be quite nice as well. If you close your eyes and just hear that, it's almost like a womb like if you do it properly. Um, go with it is what I'd recommend. Now, you might be thinking, well, all right, Gary, that's great. Well, I ain't got a blooming drum. I haven't got a tambourine. I haven't got anything. What am I supposed to do? Okay, we improvise. Simple clapping, just clap your hands together. Just nice and all right. It's maybe not such quite like the heartbeat, but it will still have an effect of bringing the person back. It's probably not coming out too well on the speaker here, but this is what I would do. Or you can even, if you maybe think I don't want to make any noise whatsoever, just get them to march, march up and down, like, almost like stamping their feet. Again, that will connect with the earth. Just a nice, simple, effective way of kind of bringing yourself back to terra firma. And there we go, everyone. And that's my tips for today. Please, as always, share your own experiences, share your tips. I'm sure you might thought, well, Gary, this is what I do. I'd love to hear it because, as I always say with these things, we share our wisdom, our collective wisdom. And because I know there's some beautiful people that are starting to interact with my videos now who are fellow Reiki practitioners, and let's share that knowledge. You might be listening to me now. I was a lovely lady who just contacted me lately from Wales, and she's a Reiki master teacher. I said, please share your thoughts, share your wisdom, because it's really appreciated. And I might think, oh, actually, I could include this in a future video, and I'll gladly give you a shout out. This is like, what it's all about, because I'm really orientating myself towards Reiki now. And I think it's important just to have a nice base where you could just come in and learn stuff. And I keep learning too. So it's beautiful. On that note, I'm going to wish you all a wonderful evening, or it is for me. You may be watching this at any other time. Have a wonderful time, wonderful weekend, wonderful week, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, and whatever year. Do take care, and I'll catch you at the next video. Thank you ever so much. Bye bye for now.